Hello everyone, I'm Rachel who runs this channel. I work at a resale bookstore and we get a lot of bizarre and interesting things that come through our door every day. If I had the chance and time, it would be fun to do a video series of all the cool stuff, but alas. One such interesting item that came in is a vinyl called Co-Star, the record acting game. This was a record series produced in the 1950s that allowed you to act out a scene from a famous play with a famous actor from the time. Talent such as Paulette Goddard, Basil Rathbone, Pearl Bailey, and Cesar Romero. Luckily, the one that came in is for one of my favorite actors of all time, Vincent Price. Unfortunately, the scenes on this album are all pretty standard. Like, there's nothing spooky like he's really known for. It's all very serious for the serious actor in their own home talking to a record player. That being said, even though there's none of the classic Bard, we do have two scenes from Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest. If you aren't familiar with the play, it's about Jack who's interested in a woman who will only marry a man whose name is Ernest. So when he's at home, his name is Jack, and when he's elsewhere, he's a liar. He leaves his home under the pretense that he needs to take care of his crazy friend named Ernest. His actual friend falls in love with Jack's ward, who is in love with Crazy Ernest. So the name of the play means both the importance of being the guy named Ernest, so you can marry a woman with strange expectations, and the importance of being earnest, another word for sincere, which no character in the play actually is. And this play was still being used as practice in acting classes when I was in high school, so thanks for your contribution to theater, Mr. Wilde. And if you are familiar with the play, you know exactly which scene I'm about to do. My manager said I could borrow the album as long as I recorded the result, so let's get on with the show. Mr. Price, take it away.
Our next scene is from Oscar Wilde's witty comedy, The Importance of Being Earnest. It is set in Victorian England and involves two very stylish young men. Mr. Price plays one of the young gentlemen, Jack. You play the other, Algernon. While the most important subject of your conversation should be your respective love interests, a plate of muffins seems to be of greater concern to both of you, especially you, who continue eating throughout the scene. Jack speaks first.
I wanted to be engaged to Gwendolen, that is all. I love her.
Well, I simply wanted to be engaged to Cecily. I adore her.
There is certainly no chance of your marrying Miss Cardew.
I don't think there's much likelihood, Jack, of you and Miss Fairfax being united.
Well, that is none of your business.
If it was my business, I wouldn't talk about it. It's very vulgar to talk about one's business. Only people like stockbrokers do that, and then merely at dinner parties.
How you can sit there calmly eating muffins when we are in this horrible trouble I can't make out. You seem to me to be perfectly heartless.
Well, I can't eat muffins in an agitated manner. The butter would probably get on my cuffs. One should always eat muffins calmly. It's the only way to eat them.
I say it is perfectly heartless you're eating muffins at all under the circumstances.
When I'm in trouble, eating is the only thing that consoles me. Indeed, when I am in really great trouble, as anyone who knows me intimately will tell you, I refuse everything but food and drink. At the present moment, I am eating muffins because I am unhappy. Besides, I am particularly fond of muffins.
Well, that is no reason why you should eat them all in that greedy way. You might leave some for me.
I wish you would have the tea cake instead. I don't like tea cake.
Good heavens, I suppose a man may eat his own muffins in his own garden.
But you have just said it was perfectly heartless to eat muffins.
I said it was perfectly heartless of you under the circumstances. That is a very different thing.
That may be, but the muffins are the same.
Algy, I wish to goodness you would go.
You can't possibly ask me to go without having some dinner. It's absurd. I never go without dinner. No one ever does, except vegetarians and people like that. Because I have just made arrangements with the Reverend Chasuble to be christened at 5:45 under the name of Ernest.
My dear fellow, the sooner you give up that nonsense, the better. I made arrangements this morning with the Reverend to be christened myself at 5:30, and I naturally would take the name of Ernest. Gwendolen would wish it. We can't both be christened Ernest. It's absurd. Besides, you have been christened already.
Yes, but I've not been christened for years.
Yes, but you have been christened. That is the important thing.
Quite so. So I know my constitution can stand it. If you are not quite sure about you ever having been christened, I must say I think it rather dangerous you're venturing on it now. It might make you unwell. You can hardly have forgotten that someone very closely connected with you was very nearly carried off this week in Paris by a severe chill.
Yes, but you said yourself that a severe chill was not hereditary.
It didn't used to be, I know, but I dare say it is now. Science is always making wonderful improvements in things.
Oh, this is nonsense. You are always talking nonsense.
Jack, you're at the muffins again. I wish you wouldn't. There are only 2 left. I told you I was particularly fond of the muffins.
But I hate the tea cakes.
Why on earth, then, would you allow tea cake to be served up for your guests? What ideas you have of hospitality?
Algernon, I have already told you to leave. I don't want you here. Why don't you go?
I haven't quite finished my tea yet, and there's still 1 muffin left.
Oh.